Ocha Squad, look, man, we got a good one today, a real interesting one, bro. I've been waiting on a topic like this for a minute because I see it all the time on my timeline. Auburn Preach. If you don't know Auburn Preachers, they're content creators, of course. They react to different things, give their 2 cents, give their input on it. You know, whether it's from political all the way to just things that they just find that's reaction worthy on social media, right? Today they are reacting to like a dating talk show where everybody's lined up, whether it's men or women, like Pop the Balloon, for instance, and they're all in the lineup, right? But the topic that gets brought up, the host asks the guy, right? You know, when it's Pop the Balloon, she asks everybody, oh, what are your deal breakers? What are you not into? Blah, 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 right? So this guy, which is the host of this one right here, he asked the guy who's trying to seek a mate or whatever he's doing, what are your deal breakers? And the guy simply says, oh, basically, I don't want to date a girl who's in the adult industry, basically, right? So we finna react to this, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're gonna give our 2 cents. We ain't just gonna watch the video and be like, oh, wow. All right, we're gonna give 2 cents over here, all right?
Non-negotiables for you with dating, or just stuff like you're, you know, in women that's just not for you, or something that you don't align with?
Not really. As long as, look, and no offense to anyone that is involved in that, as long as the woman hasn't been involved in the adult industry, that's just one thing for me. I'm not.
So if you didn't hear, he said, as long as someone hasn't been involved in the adult industry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pop. Okay, yeah, fair. No, that's fair. We'll move along. Why'd you pop it?
I popped my balloon because I would like to disagree with your what you said about the adult industry. Like,
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
How does a woman's involvement in what she does for work have anything to do with you?
Pause it right there. Before Aubrey Preach say anything, I gotta give my 2 cents. This is the thing, bro. You see, he said, you know, that's fair. That's fair, Mike. That's fair, Mike. You know what I mean? He didn't disrespect her. He didn't say anything like that. What I've learned from social media is you can make a video being nice and polite, talking about something, right? People will still find a way to get butthurt somehow. How do I know? It happens in my comments on TikTok all the time. You know what I mean? And women like this in particular, this is not all women, women like this in particular think a man shouldn't even have an opinion or open his mouth on anything that she does in her life, no matter how bad it is, no matter what she's doing. She could be the freaky dickiest girl in the world, hunching on 40 dudes a day. It'll be somebody out there say, oh, that's her body, her choice, duh. But you can't expect a person with standards and ish like that to not have an opinion. Women have opinions and standards of what they like and what they don't like when it comes to men all the time. This is that weird-ish.
What you said about the adult industry, like,
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
How does a woman's involvement in what she does for work have anything to do with you?
Look, it's just not something that I personally like. I mean, that's just my preference. You know, for instance, if you didn't like something about me, at the end of the day, we have to like what each other do for work.
Is that the only job that a woman could have that you wouldn't align with?
Probably not, but it's the only thing that, like, you know, as a man, I'm sure as a woman as well, you obviously want that the man to give you as much attention as they can give you, and you want them to focus on you, and same thing as a man, right? Vice versa. So when you're in the adult industry, I feel like as a girl, you're gonna have a lot of other men focused on you all the time, and it's drawing a lot of attention your way, and probably not favourable attention that I would consider anyway.
Could you imagine a crackhead trying to date, right? Just people who don't do drugs, right? Who are not in that world of crackism, right? And the other person says, oh, I wouldn't want anybody doing drugs, right? Crackhead pops the balloon, be like, I just don't simply agree with you. I don't agree with you. How does a person that do crack affect you? How does that, well, let me tell you how. It first of all, not only does it affect you, yourself, the person that's doing it, mentally and physically. You bring that around me, that could affect me physically and mentally. You could steal from me money to go get what you need to go get. If I don't give it to you, if you don't find it, you could physically assault me. That's mentally draining. What are you talking about? There's multiple people like her who think like she do. Because why? They think it's a profession. They don't think that has to do anything with their quote unquote personal life. When there's multiple men watching you, knowing what you do, if you look up an OF model online, on Google, because you know how this works. Instagram girlies, they got the link tree in the bio. You click on that link tree, copy their name. You could literally go on Google Images, type in at the end of it XXX. Everything pops up. You're out there for everybody to see. Nothing's private. But they lack something up here for them to not understand this.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So you think the adult industry thing is just like a comment that you just don't like?
Yeah, I think it conflates women with their bodies, and it conflates women's sexuality with something as negative and demonizing, and I don't think what someone does for work.
The way the guy looked back, be like, the way the guy looked back here on the left side, be like, is this girl serious, right? sorry.
Demonizing, and I don't think what someone does for work has anything to do with who they are as a person. And yeah, if you don't, it's just like kind of like the body count thing. Like, to me, it just, like you wouldn't say that about a lawyer. Like a lawyer spends their whole day talking to people. Like you wouldn't say that they're giving all their attention to people all day, so they're not going to have enough time to give me attention.
Well, that was not the best argument, but whatever.
She said, what people do is not a reflection of who they are. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But what you choose to do, in some cases, definitely says a lot about who you are or what you're about, for sure. And I would argue that choosing to do something as big as porn is definitely says something. And you know what the funny thing is? I think the mistake this guy made was he was trying to be incredibly considerate and very PC with his answer, instead of saying, yeah, I just don't want videos of my partner sucking other people's online. I don't want to date somebody who's seeing me at night and then going to fuck other dudes during the day. You could have just said, but he didn't.
But that's the thing about it, though. If he would have simply just said that and had a calm tone to him and everything, people still would have found that disrespectful off of the words that he said, the words that came out of his mouth. That's the society that we live in. She does not understand this at all.
He said it the other way. Now she's like, well, you know, you can't compare it to a lawyer spending time and taking their attention, because he doesn't have a problem with you being in customer service. He has a problem if your version of customer service is sucking others' dicks, okay? A lot of people don't want their partners banging other people or videos of their partner banging other people online. That's it.
That's what people have an issue with usually. And if you talk with people that are working in that environment, even amongst themselves, they have an issue with that. I don't want to date a guy in the industry. Why? Well, he's gonna go work with other girls, and I've seen.
That's a great point. That's a great point. It's the same but different, but similar with guys as well. You know what I mean? If we focused and kept it in her field, because I'm assuming that's what she does, right? Only certain type of women are going to date dudes who do the same thing that she does. The adult sites and all that stuff, the hub. Only certain women are going to date guys like that. So it's not just a thing with women as well. Although, let's be so for real, mostly women do those things. If we look up the stats and the percentage of men versus women who do OF, let's be so for real. Women do it more. I don't understand why people get so mad when certain people be like, why are you objectifying women? Not saying it's right, but why are you objectifying women? Why are you looking at women as sexual objects? You do it to yourself every single day. I've seen clips on TikTok of people, men and women, talk about how social media, whether it's Instagram or whatever, just like brings weird posts on their FYP page of explicit things, women that do what she does, adult things. And then they push the not interested and it still recommends certain stuff like that. because you know some people will be like, no, that's what you watch. That could be true as well, right? People be clicking on that stuff or whatever, but sometimes Instagram will recommend videos like that for whatever reason. They push these things. Do you know how many times I've been on TikTok and I've seen ads of like the LG, whatever, the LGB, the alphabet, when it's like, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Like, why should that be popping up on my timeline? You know what I mean? Transformer dating websites. What the freak? This is supposed to be this is what kids are on. I don't understand it.
And so, okay, you're not gonna think a civilian's gonna have an issue with it. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Who cares? That's not what I'm trying to say. Whatever. I'm just saying that yes, some people are gonna have an issue with it. Like some people are gonna have an issue with people in the military. They're gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to date someone in the military.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be overseas, whatever. You're gonna be XYZ reason, whatever your reason is.
And that goes with cheating. Some people like to generalize people who are in the army, the military, whatever. They say they're a bunch of cheaters, men and women who are in the army. They cheat, right? A person who's in the army cannot get mad at a person who's not in the army simply because of what they feel and what they think about the army, right? That's their prerogative. That's their opinion at the end of the day. You can find somebody who likes what you do, who is okay with what you do.
Some people don't want to date people because there's Some people because they're Scorpios.
We can agree to disagree.
I mean, that's the market. You're looking at getting other attention from men. So, like, if you want a relationship with someone, how as a guy or even as a girl, if I'm constantly looking for attention from another woman, would you like that?
Are you getting paid for it? And then you're going to pay for my dates with it?
That's irrelevant.
I would be so
Trust me,
fine.
I don't need to get paid for that. I get paid for other stuff.
Well, if you were getting paid for it, I wouldn't care.
Wow. So her argument is essentially as long as you're getting money for it, it's acceptable. Wow. This is actually an interesting one.
But I don't mind her way of thinking, and I appreciate the fact that she's consistent with it. Because I've heard a lot of people being like, "Why? Like, I'm good, but you can't do it." No, it's different because men and women are different, and we do it for different.
Okay, yeah, because that makes so much sense. As long as you're getting paid to do something, it's okay, right? You know, just like a drug dealer. As long as you're getting paid to do what you do, it's okay, right? Even if a person doesn't do that, doesn't be a drug dealer or whatever, if a drug dealer want to ask a girl out, there's no reason she should say no. Why would she say no? He's getting paid for what he does, right? If a hitman is getting paid to do what he do, and he wants to ask a girl out, there's no reason she should say no. Also because he might put on the hit list too. But besides that, he's getting paid, so it should be okay, right? No, but that's a different thing. But no, she said as long as you're getting paid for whatever, right? It's okay, whatever profession you're doing, as long as you're getting paid for it.
Cop.
Fair, and that's a valid thing. So her saying that I don't agree with. I think it's perfectly fine to not want sex workers to be judged on. And I don't think that's what this guy was doing. He was just saying, for me in my dating life.
After that, I don't care. I disagree. I judge, Abba. I judge, preach. You know what I'm saying? Everybody judge to a certain degree. If a person comes up to you, whether you think it's right or wrong, what I'm saying, if a person comes up to you, whether it's a man or woman, try to ask you out, you're going to judge that person off of how they look, what they're saying, personality, whatever, right? Whether you think they're attractive or not, you're judging them based on their looks, based on what they're saying, based on their personality. If you're going to a job interview, you're going to get judged by your answers, your responses, right? The recruiter's going to look at you, hear what you're saying, and see whether or not he wants to hire you or not. You get judged every single day.
I just don't want to date a sex worker. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I understand that, but yeah, I mean, lawyers aren't giving their attention to men every day when they have a partner, but obviously the women kind of are. That's the whole point. That's the...
No, lawyers are definitely giving their attention to men and to women, to clients. See, this guy, his mistake was he was beating around the bush so hard he wasn't anywhere near it. Now he's in the middle of town just smacking shit.
Yeah, just don't agree with or respect his views. But at the end of the day, work is work. Bills need to be paid. And I don't think how you pay those bills should say anything about you.
What did I just tell you? I told you, these type of women, men as well too, whatever. They think this is strictly a job. In today's society, people always act like they're so oppressed men and women, in particular certain women, they think they're so oppressed and all that. But you can literally go on the internet, literally just be in the video, stand there. Depending on how your body look, depending on how good you look, you get thousands of views and all that. You get to do what she does. You know what I'm saying? And then you say, oh, this is just a profession. This is just work. This is just business, right? And then a guy is supposed to just strictly be okay with that. That makes no sense, bro. The average guy is not going to want to rock with you. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of dudes will have fun with you, just like going to the strip club, right? A lot of people love strippers, men and women. They love the strippers. Fun, good, fun little time, right? I've never been to a strip club by myself, but people who have actually been to the strip club, fun time for them, right? That don't mean they respect you. It's entertainment, bruh. It's entertainment. For women, certain guys may be entertainment. You know, they might not see a future with them, but they're having fun right now. That happens. It happens. Somebody might have intercourse with you and whatever, but are they cuffing you? Are they marrying you? You know what type of people will marry you? People who do what you do. The P stars, they be marrying each other. Maybe you should find somebody who does what you do, or somebody who is okay with what you do. The average normal person, they're not going to be okay with what you do.
Work is work. Bills need to be paid. I don't think what you do to make yes, it does. Stop. I mean, you could use that argument for everything. You could use that argument for fucking parking tickets. You could use that argument for drug dealing. You could use that argument for being a hitman. You could use that argument for being in the military. You could use that argument for doing any job where people, you know, based off their own perspective, are going to think that that job is immoral or something that's a red line for them. Saying bills need to be paid. No, jobs are a choice. What you choose to do is a choice. Doesn't mean it reflects on the entirety of you, but you choose to be willing to accept that. No, and I think a lot of people make that choice every day. There's plenty of people who are very attractive who could get online and run an OnlyFans, and they choose not to, even though they could make hundreds of thousands every month. And a big reason why is that they realize that even though bills need to be paid, there's certain things that they don't want to do, and that's okay. And if other people want to do it, that's their choice. In my experience, a lot of these jobs that have quote unquote fast money or insane amounts of potential in terms of how much you can make ceiling wise, they generally operate in a very gray area with many downsides the higher you go. And the reason is you're generally dealing with vices. You're dealing with some murky stuff. And folks are just essentially saying that they don't want to deal with that, or they don't want to deal with everything that comes with that. You know, when someone gets into like OnlyFans or whatever, and they're hoping to make 5 figures a month, you know, do whatever it is that you want. But a part of the reason why your job is so lucrative is because it operates in that gray zone. From anyone on the outside looking in, if they don't entirely respect that profession, that's okay. That's okay. The same way it's okay to not respect people who go on deployments, it's okay to not respect people who give out parking. It's okay. You can have those reasons for it. But pretending like your job and what you choose to do on a day-to-day basis says nothing about you, that's a bit odd to me. Especially when there's also a positive side. If you choose to be Doctors Without Border, if you choose to be a teacher who really cares, that says something about you. Why wouldn't the inverse say something about you either?
No, I think you're missing the point. It's only one way.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Got him! What I think is weird is when people use the service of whatever that you consume. Mm-hmm. And then you shame the parents, the people for doing whatever they do. I'm like, you use the service. Like, shut up. You're the part why they, I can't believe you're doing that. You're using that.
And sexual history matters to people. You know how many women have I ever heard if their potential date or their boyfriend or whatever had like, if he had kissed a guy, oh, you're not bisexual, you're gay. I would never, right? And like, to be 100% clear with y'all, this is like even the most liberal women will fucking look you dead in the eyes and be like, if you kissed one dude, that you're gay. And I would never.
Exactly. And those be, I'm telling y'all, people be saying things like that. They be saying, oh, I support the alphabet. Oh, I want a man to be a little bit more feminine. But then as soon as a man say something back or whatever, it's sassy or he's this or he's that. People just be talking, man. Some of these women just be talking, bro. And this, again, to clarify, for the emotional people. This is not me just saying or generalizing all women in one category because women are different, right? But those type of women in particular, they just be talking, bruh. It makes no sense. But man, I just want to come in here real quick and just react to this video. Shout out to Alba and Preach. Go watch just their original video of it. You know, especially you don't want to hear me rambling over them. You know what I mean? Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. What are y'all thoughts about this, bruh? This is not, just because it's normalized and everybody and their grandma doing it now, everybody you see are doing OF, that doesn't mean it's normal. You know what I'm saying? If most people on earth started to, out of nowhere, just do crack, that doesn't mean it's normal. It's just normalized. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we done here, man. On to the next video.